Alright, let's dive into the buzz around Google's upcoming Pixel 11 lineup. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me just say this, Google's approach to this launch feels different. Personally, I think they're trying to shake things up, not just with the hardware, but with the entire experience. And that's what makes this really interesting. It's not just about specs, it's about how Google wants to position itself in a crowded market. So, let's break it down. First off, the launch event is set for August 12th, and Google's pulling out all the stops. Trevor Noah hosting, Stephen Curry as a guest. It's like they're blending tech with pop culture, which, in my opinion, is a smart move. What many people don't realize is that these celebrity-driven events aren't just for show, they're about creating a moment. Google wants this to be more than a product launch, they want it to be an event people talk about. And honestly, it's working, we're already talking about it, aren't we? Now, let's talk pricing. The rumored price hikes are a bit of a bummer. The Pixel 11 starting at $899? The Pro Fold at $1,899? Out. But here's the thing, we're living in what I call Armageddon era. Components are expensive, and Google's not immune to that. What this really suggests is that Google's trying to balance premium features with a premium price tag. The question is, will consumers bite? Personally, I think it depends on how much value those extra features bring. If the Pixel Glow HiLight is as game-changing as they're hinting, it might just be worth it. Speaking of Pixel Glow HiLight, this is where things get fascinating. Google's adding a multicolored LED light module to the camera bar, and I'm here for it. Why? Because it's a small detail that could make a big difference. Imagine your phone subtly lighting up in different colors to notify you, no need to pick it up. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just about functionality, it's about personality. Google's trying to make their phones feel more alive, more you. But here's the deeper question, is this a gimmick, or a genuine innovation? I'm leaning toward the latter, especially if it's integrated well with software. Now, let's talk specs. The base Pixel 11 seems pretty standard, OLED display, Tensor G6 processor, 12/16GB RAM. But one thing that immediately stands out is the removal of the telephoto lens. Why would Google do that? My take. They are probably streamlining costs to keep the base model affordable. But here's the catch, in a world where camera versatility is king, is this a step backward? I'm not so sure. If you take a step back and think about it, most users probably don't use the telephoto lens that often. Still, it's a detail that could rub some people the wrong way. The Pro models, on the other hand, are where Google's really flexing. The 120x digital zoom. That's insane. But here's my hot take, it's not just about the numbers. What this really suggests is that Google's leaning hard into AI-driven photography. As AI technology progresses, these crazy zoom levels are becoming more feasible. But the bigger question is, does it actually improve the user experience, or is it just a spec sheet flex? Personally, I think it's a bit of both. Finally, the Pixel 11 Pro Fold. Foldables are still a niche market, but Google's doubling down. The rumored $1,899 price tag is steep, but foldables have always been a premium category. What's fascinating here is that Google's trying to make foldables feel more mainstream. But here's the thing, foldables are still a gamble. They're not for everyone, and durability remains a concern. So, is this a bold move or a risky one? I'm leaning toward bold, but only time will tell. Here's my closing thought, Google's Pixel 11 lineup isn't just about new phones, it's about Google's vision for the future of smartphones. They are experimenting with design, pushing the limits of AI, and trying to create a unique identity in a sea of sameness. Will it work? Honestly, I'm not sure. But one thing's for certain, this launch is going to be one to watch. What do you think? Are you excited for the Pixel 11, or is Google stretching too far? Let me know in the comments below.